I became insane, with long intervals of horrible sanity. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. We loved with a love that was more than love. Those who dream by day are cognizant of many things which escape those who dream only by night. I have great faith in fools, self-confidence my friends will call it. I was never really insane except upon occasions when my heart was touched. There is no exquisite beauty without some strangeness in the proportion. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half that you see. From childhood's hour I have not been. As others were, I have not seen. As others saw, I could not awaken my heart to joy at the same tone. And all I loved alone. Sleep, those little slices of death, how I loathe them. Years of love have been forgot, and the hatred of a minute. Never to suffer would never to have been blessed. Words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. All religion, my friend, is simply evolved out of fraud, fear, greed, imagination, and poetry. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled, whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence, whether much that is glorious, whether all that is profound does not spring from disease of thought, from moods of mind exalted at the expense of the general intellect. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. I wish I could write as mysterious as a cat. Deep in earth my love is lying, and I must weep alone. And so being young and dipped in folly I fell in love with melancholy. It is by no means an irrational fancy that, in a future existence, we shall look upon what we think our present existence, as a dream. I felt that I breathed an atmosphere of sorrow. Beauty of whatever kind, in its supreme development, invariably excites the sensitive soul to tears. And all I loved alone. I have no faith in human perfectibility. I think that human exertion will have no appreciable effect upon humanity. Man is now only more active, not more happy, nor more wise, than he was 6,000 years. Invisible things are the only realities. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. The true genius shudders at incompleteness, imperfection, and usually prefers silence to saying the something which is not everything that should be said. The death of a beautiful woman is, unquestionably, the most poetical topic in the world. I remained too much inside my head and ended up losing my mind. Science has not yet taught us if madness is or is not the sublimity of the intelligence. With me poetry has not been a purpose, but a passion. There are some secrets which do not permit themselves to be told. I would define, in brief, the poetry of words as the rhythmical creation of beauty. I dread the events of the future, not in themselves but in their results. That which you mistake for madness is but an over-acuteness of the senses. Poetry is the rhythmical creation of beauty in words. It is a happiness to wonder, it is a happiness to dream. To elevate the soul, poetry is necessary. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends, and where the other begins? Now this is the point. You fancy me a madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. I intend to put up with nothing that I can put down. There are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched without emotion. Even in the grave, all is not lost. Yet mad I am not, and very surely do I not dream. every moment of the night, forever changing places, and they put out the starlight, with the breath from their pale faces. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Convinced myself, I seek not to convince. To die laughing must be the most glorious of all glorious deaths. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled, whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. Every poem should remind the reader that they are going to die. But our love was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabel Lee. A short story must have a single mood and every sentence must build towards it. Stupidity is a talent for misconception. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am, but why will say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. And I fell violently on my face. The fury of a demon instantly possessed me. I knew myself no longer. My original soul seemed, at once, to take its flight from my body, and a more than fiendish malevolence, gin-nurtured, thrilled every fiber of my frame. Leave my loneliness unbroken. And darkness and decay and the Red Death held illimitable dominion over all. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Art is to look at, not to criticize. In beauty of face no maiden ever equaled her. It was the radiance of an opium dream, an airy and spirit-lifting vision more wildly divine than the fantasies which hovered about the slumbering souls of the daughters of Delos. Experience has shown, and a true philosophy will always show, that a vast, perhaps the larger, portion of truth arises from the seemingly irrelevant. All that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. Even with the utterly lost, to whom life and death are equally jests, there are matters of which no jest can be made. The 99 are with dreams, content, but the hope of the world made new, is the 100th man who is grimly bent on making those dreams come true. A man's grammar, like Caesar's wife, should not only be pure, but above suspicion of impurity. Villains! I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart. Mysteries force a man to think, and so injure his health. The scariest monsters are the ones that lurk within our souls. In criticism, I will be bold, and as sternly, absolutely just with friend and foe. From this purpose nothing shall turn me. You call it hope, that fire of fire. It is but agony of desire. Lord help my poor soul.